Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your girl, Ebony Presswood, aka Ebony Ignites, and I am excited to be here. This is our third Saturday together. And I am here to guide you as you detach from your false identity and surrender entirely to God for a complete transformation into your true identity journey in Jesus Christ. And I am, like I said, so excited to be here again. This is our third Saturday. The first Saturday, we talked about releasing your illegitimate child. Last week, we talked about I forgive me so that I could live. If you did not get an opportunity to see or be a part of either one of those broadcasts, go back and watch them so that way you can be on this journey to escaping the fire God's way with me. I don't want to do this thing alone. So good morning, grace and peace, right? To every single person that is on today. If you are watching, go ahead and say good morning and let me know where you're watching from. And go ahead and tag someone this morning who you feel could use some inspiration, some encouragement this morning, and uplift to their spirits. Go ahead and tag them in the comments. And then do me a favor, press that share button, share this out to your audience. For the month of March, we've been celebrating women. Just guess what? Just for being women, right? Celebrating them for their endurance, for their strength, for their resilience, their determination, and just overall their commitment to goal smashing. We are on this journey of goal smashing together. So it doesn't matter if you are a single mother, if you're a wife, if you're a widow, a sister, a bestie, an auntie, if you are a manager, an employee, a business owner, right? You could be a preacher, a pastor, a teacher, an evangelist, an apostle, a prophet. No matter who you are, right? You are amazing. That's the part that matters. You are amazing. So thank you. First of all, thank you for holding it down for women everywhere and for showing up every single day. You show up and you're showing up amazing. And so I thank you. Oftentimes, as women, we show up battered, we show up broken, we show up bruised, but guess what we do? We still show up. And so I started thinking about how I could help to support and celebrate women everywhere, not just the women in my personal circle, but those that are in every single state, every country, every continent. And so this video, right, this live, these moments that we are sharing together are for those that are watching, and then also for that woman who may be watching at 3 a.m. in the morning with tears in her eyes and frustrated with life. This month is dedicated to you. So we will be here every single Saturday throughout the rest of March, and who knows what the Lord may do. We may continue. We're in thoughts and prayers about that. But right now, we are here every Saturday in March at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just for a little Saturday morning chit chat. So grab your tea, grab your coffee, get your pad, your pen, and come with your open mind. And then, like I said, do me a favor, start to tag some women who you know who could benefit from today's message. Tag them here and click that share button for me and share this out. Today, we can jump right into it. Today, I want to talk about a subject called the power of yet. We're going to be talking about the power of yet. So get your seatbelts on, strap on, because it's about to go down, right? The Lord is about to come through. like a mighty Russian wind. So, question. Now, I do have some questions for you. How many of you that are watching today have ever hit rock bottom before, right? You've ever been unemployed, you've ever been in between financial blessings. Maybe you have experienced some emotional pain before, some physical abuse, maybe some mental anguish. Maybe you've been medically ill before. In the last 2.5 years, we've all been through a pandemic. So some of us have had COVID. And I know some people that have had COVID not just one time, but they've had COVID twice. I have a friend that actually had COVID 3 times. Some of us have had family members that have passed away during the pandemic from COVID. We have experienced, or some of our family members have experienced, injustice within the system in some shape, form, or format. So I know that we can all relate in some regard regarding what rock bottom may look like for each of us, right? Some of us have been addicted to drugs or have had family members addicted to drugs. So we know what rock bottom at least look like if we have not experienced it ourselves. Maybe we've experienced it vicariously through someone else. So how did you overcome those situations? What did you do in order to move past the what you have associated yourself with rock bottom, right? What did you do? How did you handle your emotions during those time periods, right? What kind of thoughts did you have? What was your mind saying to you during those moments? And even when those moments were over, right? What did you think about afterwards, right? What were some of the things that you were saying and replaying over and over in your mind? And so I want you to think about what you have done during those tough times or during your feelings of defeat, right? When you are still trying to figure out what to do and you're not sure how to move from your place of stuck, right? If that's you, if you're, if every once in a while stuck comes on you, or if you are right now stuck and don't know what to do, how to move forward, there's a decision that you need to make that may change the whole trajectory of your life, then guess what? You selected the right channel today. You selected to come on to the right live today, whether if you're on Instagram, if you are some of my friends watching on Instagram, some of my friends that are watching on Facebook, or if you're over on LinkedIn and you are watching today, you selected the right channel, right? Because when we feel stuck, we feel defeated in those moments, no matter if it's just a day, a minute. Some of us have been stuck for the last 15 years. There are some adults, and some of us have been stuck in trauma for the past 30, 40 years. And some of us are young, and maybe that feeling of stuck just came over us, right? It's like those moments when we feel like we can never pull ourselves up. We feel like we can never win in life. And no matter what we do, we feel like we will never get ahead, right? Some of us feel that way as it relates to our finances. It's like every time, I think my mother and my grandmother used to say, it seems like every time I nail down one corner, 3 other corners pop right back up, right? Every time I pay these 2 bills, then I go check the mailbox and I got 5 other ones that have come in with either a current due date or a past due date. So I'm feeling like I can never get ahead. And I'm trying to figure out, what is it that I need to do in order to win? How do I win? And so when we think about winning, we start to think about, like, what does it mean to win? Like, what does that even mean? If you have your own definition of what you think winning is, go ahead and type that in the chat for me. What does it mean to win to you when you think about that word and how it will be applied to your life? What winning looks like? Go ahead and type in the chat right now for me. I believe winning is, or winning to me means, what does that mean to you? To me, when I think about the word winning, I think about having the power to see the positive in every situation and then taking advantage of those possibilities, right? Winning to me looks like being able to see the positive in every situation and then taking advantage of every possibility. Good morning, my sister Flora. How are you this morning? Thank you so much for joining, right? Winning also means having the power to determine the lesson that we need to learn from every experience, because I don't like to use the word loss, right? We didn't lose, we learned. So when you are winning, you are looking at every situation that you have gone through. You're looking at the positive of that situation. You're taking advantage of your possibilities, and then you're determining the lessons that you need to learn from that experience. So today, what I want you to do is I want you to make an agreement with you. And if you've noticed, every Saturday, no matter if we were talking about releasing ourselves from our illegitimate children, if we were talking about the power of forgiving ourselves so that we can win, today we're talking about the power of yet. Every single lesson that we have talked about has required you to make a choice, right? So today, you got to make a choice as well. Today, I'm asking you to make a choice, and that choice is, are you ready to win? That's what I want to know today. Are you ready to win? Are you ready to win? If you are watching and you are ready to win, go ahead and type in the chat, I am ready to win. I am ready to win. Like Rihanna says, I was born to win, right? I was born to conquer. I am ready to win. And so if you are ready to live the life that God has promised you, if you are and you're ready to win, then that means that you are ready to confront every giant that you know. Are you ready to confront the giants in your life? See, David, in his time, he fought the giant that he had to fight, right? He fought his Goliath of his time and he won. And we all know the story of David, how he fought Goliath and he won. And so he set the example for us that we can win every battle, right? He has already gave us the blueprint, laid it out for us, and showed us how we can win. I want to ask you today, do you know who your greatest Goliath is? Do you know who your greatest Goliath is? And so if we have to start to think about that thing, some of us may say, well, my greatest Goliath is my husband or my wife. Or some of us may say my greatest Goliath are my bills or financial challenges, right? Some of us may say my greatest Goliath is my boss at work because, oh my gosh, she gets on my last nerve. He or she gets on my last nerve, right? So we have in our minds who we believe our greatest Goliaths are. But what if we took a moment to say in our minds, our greatest Goliath that we are fighting is ourselves, right? I say my greatest Goliath is Ebony. And then you'll say your greatest Goliath is, whatever your name is. If it's Tawana, if it's Flora, right? If you're over on Instagram and you're watching, right? Your greatest Goliath is you. You are your greatest giant that you have to fight and you have to face, right? A lot of times we like to blame what's going on with us, with the enemy. We give him a whole lot of credit. The enemy did this and the enemy that and the enemy this and the enemy that. No, sometimes it's not even the enemy. He has nothing to do with it. At times it is us. It is the enemy right? The inner me, not the enemy, but it is the inner me. It's me, myself, and I am fighting me, right? And so you already made the choice. You agreed that you were ready to fight your battle with your Goliath. So that means you've already agreed that you are ready to fight the fight against yourself, right? Now, listen, you are no stranger to making choices. Just think about that thing for a moment, right? You are no stranger to making choices. We make choices every single day. As a matter of fact, statistics say that we make over 70 choices every single day. We make choices. We make choices on when we go to the restaurant and we're looking at the menu, we're making a choice, right? We're making a choice on what we want to eat. When we get up in the morning and we're trying to figure out what we want to wear, we're making a choice. If we want to wear these blue pants or these black pants, what shirt we're going to wear, what shoes we're going to wear, we putting that fit together, right? We're making a choice. We make choices on who we want to date, right? We make choices on what television channel we want to watch. We make choices on where we want to live. We make choices on what bills we are going to pay when we get paid. Y'all know how we do it. I know I am not the only one, right? We look at all the bills, we line them up, and we say this pay period, I'm paying the light bill and I'm paying my car insurance. But this car note, it's gonna have to wait because I ain't about to be flat broke this week, right? Isn't that the way we do it? That's what we say, right? I'm saving some for myself this particular pay period. The last pay period, I paid all the bills. I was left flat busted. This pay period, I'm saving some for myself, right? So we make choices all the time. That means that we're no stranger, right, to making choices. What I find strange is that we get stuck when it comes time to making choices about divorcing our excuses. We get stuck when it gets time to make choices about ridding ourselves from the very thing that keep us stuck, right? When it comes down to deciding to make a choice about our past or the way we think about ourselves or the way we view ourselves or how we allow people to inflame and ignite us, right? How we allow people to get under our skin, to make us react in ways that we know are outside of our character. We have a difficult time making those choices, but we make choices all day long. So it gets interesting, right? So let me tell you about a few of my choices because I've had to make some choices as well that I haven't been quite so proud of, right? I know that I'm not the only one. We have all had to make some choices that we have not been quite proud of. And so for me, by 19, I had 3 children, right? That was a choice that I made, right? To have children at 14, 18, and 19. Did I make life difficult for myself? Of course I did. Did I create additional limits and challenges that I would have to overcome? Of course I did. During the time of my life, I have written bad checks. Guess what? Choice made. I've talked about people. Choice made. I have told lies. That was a choice that I made. I have mishandled money. Ooh, we mishandled some money, y'all. That was a choice that I've made, right? I've enabled my children, choice made. And so each of these choices that I made in my life that have either caused me additional anguish, additional pain, those choices were made from a place of being stuck. Right. I made those choices from a place of hurt, from a place of emotional pain, from a place of guilt, a place of shame, a place of rejection, jealousy, and some traumatic experiences that shaped who I had become in life. But guess what? We don't have to stay there. Just like the prodigal son did, one day the Bible says that he came to himself. He came to his senses, right? And so just like the prodigal son made the choice to leave his father's house, when he realized that he was out there and the outcome was not exactly what he thought it was going to be, he made the choice to return home. And so we all can make the choice to return home. I did. I decided, I woke up one day and was like, this is not the life that I know God promised me. This is not the life that he showed me. So I made the choice. I made the decision to return home, to return to my father's house. And guess what? Jesus welcomed me back into the family. He welcomed me back into the fold with open arms. So I stopped by social media today just to let you know that you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not the only person. You are not the only person who have gone through the things that you are currently going through. But guess what? You are the only person who can keep you in prison to your past. You are the only person who can decide to move you forward. You are the only person, right? And so I want you to agree today that I am moving forward. I'm not going to be stuck in my past. I have made a conscious decision that my past will no longer keep me in bondage. It will no longer keep me in prison. I am choosing today to break free from that thing that is holding me down. Because guess what? We already know that the devil, he does want to maintain control of your thoughts. He wants to maintain control of your mind. He wants to keep control of you. But you have the power to change the way you think about your situation. You have the power to win. Everything inside of you that you need to win, it's already there. You were built with it. You were born with it. You have what you need in order to be successful. Guess what? Our minds are powerful, and they are the drivers of our success. The Bible tells us, so a man thinketh, so is he. When we continue over and over to replay our past hurt, when we continue over and over to replay our past trauma, then guess what we're doing? We are setting ourselves up to remain in that dark place. We're setting ourselves up to remain in that place of darkness. So we have to begin to think about not where our life currently is, but we have to focus on where we want it to be. Where do I want my life to be, right? We may think in our minds, I know that I may be working at a minimum paying job right now, but I see myself as the CEO, right? Every morning, we have to get up and we have to start our day with positivity. We have to write the vision. We got to make it plain for how our life is going to be. We have to be optimistic about our journey. So there are several things that you can do to be optimistic about your journey. One thing you can do is speak life over yourself, right? We have the power to speak life over ourselves from our minds. It's what we say, right? We have a choice on whether or not if we want to speak words of healing or words of defeat. And today, right now, the day after St. Patrick's Day, you wore your green yesterday. Today is March 18th, and you have the choice to speak words of healing, to speak life, to speak healing, to speak restoration, and to speak abundance. You can speak abundance over yourself. Now, guess what? There is a 3-letter word that is small in nature, but it is mighty and forceful, y'all. It is both an adverb and a conjunction. Come on. It's both an adverb and a conjunction. If we expect to have the power to win, if we are looking to win, then we have to learn how to use this word. It's a 3-letter word, an adverb and a conjunction, right? If you use it in the adverb term, then it means up to the present time. If you are using it in its conjunction version, then it means nevertheless, right? So up to the present time as an adverb and nevertheless as a conjunction. That word is Y-E-T. That word is yet. Today we're talking about the power of yet. So when we look at our current situation and we realize that we are in the waiting room of life, our perspective shifts. Let me give you an example. When you go to the doctor, the nurse brings you into the room and the nurse says to you, the doctor is not ready to see you yet. Please sit tight. He or she will be with you shortly. So you sit patiently, waiting to see the person who is going to assist you with your health challenges, right? When we place an order online for food for pickup, right? We get there, they tell us on the app that it's going to be about 30 minutes or so, and then our food will be ready. When we get there, oftentimes it still isn't ready when we arrive. And we walk up to the window, we say, hey, I'm order number 526. They look it up and says, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, sir. Your order is not ready yet, but it will be up shortly. So you stand in the lobby area of the restaurant. You stand there in anticipation of the meal that you are about to receive, right? So do you know like the power of the word yet? Like, do you know if we were to apply that same concept and that same principle to our own personal lives, how powerful that thing would be, right? I challenge you today. I challenge you today to begin to look at and think about your life in the same vein as that word yet, right? When you hear yourself beginning to think a negative thought, when you begin to hear yourself think about a hopeless thought, I want you to add the word yet to that thought and begin to see and feel your hope return. Let me give you a few examples. I don't have a car yet, right? I'm not good at this yet. I'm not confident yet. I don't own my own business yet. I haven't graduated yet. I didn't get the promotion yet. I'm not an organized person yet. I am not in a place where I can go to the movies by myself yet. I don't know how to use a computer. I'm not familiar with Microsoft Word, Office, or Excel or PowerPoint yet. I can't sleep with the lights without the lights being on yet, right? We all have something that we say to ourselves every day. I'm not beautiful, right? We say those things. I'm overweight. We say all of those things to ourselves. You know, I'll never be able to be the person that God sees that I am, right? We say those things to ourselves on a daily basis. What is your yet? What is that thing that you have been saying to yourself that you can add yet to the end of? I don't know how to, whatever it is, you fill in your blank, right? I can't, whatever that is, you fill in your blank. I don't have, whatever it is that you feel like you don't have, you fill in your yet. You fill in your yet. You train. So what we're going to be doing is training our minds to think positivity. And trust me, it can be done because our brains really only have the bandwidth to focus on one thought at a time. When we focus on positive thoughts and we continue to do that, then what we're doing is building a new habit. And you'll be amazed at how things will change all around you. Your brain will begin to release those free-flowing feel-good hormones. They call those endorphins. And those things make us feel happier in return. So when something negative occurs, it is our response that we can determine our outcome. But we have to start looking for that positive response, looking for that positive outcome, looking for that optimistic lesson. You can write positive affirmations and keep them handy in your journal. Keep inspirational quotes handy. You can journal about each situation that you encounter and how you made it through that. That way, when you go through something and you are feeling like you don't know how you're going to come out of that thing, you can go back to your journal and reference how you were able to face your previous hurdle and what you did in order to come through, right? Job, my man Job, y'all, I love me some Job, okay? He taught us a valuable lesson about waiting and having the right mindset to wait. No matter what happened to Job, he remained positive and hopeful. His situation, I'm sure, could have turned out a whole lot worse if he had begun to focus on the condition that he was in instead of focusing on the outcome, right? Even when his friends and his wife tried to convince him that he needed to change his way of thinking, he still remained confident. He still remained steadfast in his current position of waiting on the Lord. And that's why it's important for us to know who our circle is, who's in our circle, who do we have around us when we are going through certain ordeals and certain traumatic experiences, because sometimes we can be swayed by the company that we keep. But Job told us, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. So in other words, he was saying, my situation may look like this right now, but I'm going to continue to wait on God. I'm going to continue to trust in him, and I'm going to continue to have faith in him. I know that God is not going to leave me like this, right? I know that he's going to rescue me. This thing, it's all going to turn out for my good. That's what Job was saying. He won't leave me. He will rescue me. It's going to turn out for my good. I know it is, because God promised me that, right? He promised me that. So we have to remember that when we fill our minds with negativity and self-limiting thoughts, we cut off the runway to winning. We cut off the runway to winning. On this winning journey, the path, look, it's the path that I like to call the road less traveled. It's the road less traveled, because a lot of times, we allow our negative thinking, we allow people in our circle, we allow those things to distract us from discovering our true and authentic self. We usually hop off the escalator before we have actually reached our floor, right? And so today we're making a conscious choice to say, I'm staying in the oven. I'm staying on this escalator. I'm staying on the elevator. I'm staying strapped and down to my seatbelt until this ride is over. If you think about the caterpillar, right? Before it becomes a butterfly, it's wrapped in its dark cocoon on the backside of some tree, right? It doesn't even know, and it doesn't even look like that it has options. But inside that cocoon, as it slowly develops and grows into being a butterfly, it doesn't just sit and wait for somebody to come and let it out. Just imagine if the caterpillar had to wait until somebody came and cracked that cocoon open in order for it to fly as a butterfly. Just imagine how that would be. It would die on the inside as a full-blown butterfly. It would die as a butterfly. But no, it doesn't do that. The butterfly, as a cocoon, knows that it has to make a move if it's going to set himself free. If he is going to be able to fly as the beautiful thing that it has grown to become, It has to set itself free. And the same thing goes for us, right? We have to do something in order to get ourselves out of the confining places that we find ourselves in. We have to pray. We got to believe. And sometimes, y'all, and I know as African Americans, especially, we don't like to seek professional help, but sometimes we have to seek professional help, whether that be a therapist, whether that be a mentor, whether that be a coach. You know, we may have to go through budgeting training. We may have to get some financial mentorship. Whatever it is that we have to do, we have to press through to victory. So today, no matter what you're facing, I want you to remember that it's working for your good. You may not see it yet. You may not understand it yet. And even some of us, we don't even agree with it. Come on, we may not even agree with it yet, but we know God's plan is the perfect plan for our lives, right? So from today forward, I want you to do me a favor. Look at yourself as being on a commercial break. You're on a commercial break right now. You know how your regular scheduled TV show, how it's on a commercial break, right? You're watching the show and then all of a sudden it goes to commercial. You may see 3 or 4 different commercials that come on and then it goes back to your regular scheduled program. And so sometimes our past trauma, our past experiences, our past pain, our feelings of negative thinking, right? Sometimes they put us on a commercial break. Sometimes they put us there, right? But I want you to remind yourself, look at yourself to say, I'm returning to my regular scheduled program. Our situations may get the best of us. Sometimes we have a memory of the past, right? You may even be triggered by a smell, a word, a person's look. Sometimes we do feel lonely. We feel afraid. We get confused. We get despondent. Sometimes we're even saddened by our circumstances. Sometimes we're grieved. But guess what? View those times as being on a commercial break. The next time grief come over you, just say, hey, I'm on a commercial break. The next time you feel afraid, hey, I'm on a commercial break. The next time you start to think about being in that domestic violence relationship that you were able to escape, I'm on a commercial break. The next time your money doesn't line up with all of the bills and things that you have to pay, you don't see the resources, say to yourself, I'm on a commercial break, right? I am on a break, but I am returning shortly. I'm returning to my place of safety and security. Look to the hills from which cometh your help, because all of your help comes from the Lord. The power of yet, right? Yet you will get there. I promise you, you will. You are going to get there. It's all in your thinking, right? Think that thing. Faith it until you make it. Faith it until you make it. The power of yet. You got this thing. You got it. You are releasing your illegitimate children. You are forgiving yourself so that you can live. And now you are realizing that you're just on a commercial break. That power of yet, you are going to start to say that thing to yourself. Every time something comes up for you, a traumatic experience, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. I'm using my tools that I need in order to get there. I am so excited about our Saturday journeys, and I thank you all for joining each and every Saturday in the month of March as we encourage women together. The way you can encourage a woman in your life is to share one of these messages, share a video with them so they too can live a life that is free, that is free. They feel like they are in freedom, right? Some women feel like they are in captivity, but there is freedom. Together, we are escaping the fire God's way. We are on our identity journey in Jesus Christ. Come back next Saturday. It's our final Saturday in the month of March, and we will be talking about breaking free. I will be giving you a 5-step break free method on how you break free from the things that are holding you down, right? We talked about the power of yet, but there are 5 steps that I need you to take in order to break free. Meet me back next Saturday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, while we go through the break free method together. We are escaping the fire God's way. It's your coach, Ebony Presswood. Coach Ebony Ignites, and I will see you next Saturday. See you back here on our journey together, escaping the fire God's way. See you then.